powerful. Was so awesome. I mean, this is a perfect place to bring your guests on Saturday to that meeting that you guys just had, followed by, hey, help them get signed up, followed by a super short training right here. Dr. Ross, thank you for and the whole team for that presentation because man, that is fantastic. You all that are experiencing this and kind of dealing with this right now and understanding it, this is a good place to bring your guests on Saturday. Also, Thursday's call, if you've got guests, now that's not a Zoom call. I mean, you can have your house robe on. You can, you could be driving your car and put it on speaker, whatever. The truth is, Thursday is just a conference call, and we'll lay out those numbers. But this call right here on Saturday morning with Dr. Roz's call with her guests and all it goes with very very powerful. Bring your guests to this and really grow your business. And then we're going to have this what I call a quick $1 billion big business training. So if you'll allow me, I'm going to share a screen for a second, bring up something that I want you all to see very quickly. And this first little piece, and I'm just going to show you very quickly a couple pieces because for me personally, this is straightforward. It's very matter of fact, but it needs to be said. Now, one of the things that I love is your business can pay for itself here very quickly. And I want to show you a couple basics and I want to kind of walk us through that a little bit. I've known many companies. I've consulted with companies all over the world and taken companies from where they started at millions of dollars to $1 billion big, and that's no exception to what's happening here. You're starting to sense an energy right now. If you're listening to me, you're starting to sense an energy right now. Some things that are happening right at this very moment that are this energy is the beginnings of what we call $1 billion big. And the reason I know this is because I've seen it before. That the dedication of the team, the dedication of the people, the drive of what's happening right now. And the whole reason I'm here is to guide us and help us to that next step. And the way to do it is keep things simple, keep things very doable, very reachable because complex and super detailed just confuses people and confusion and chaos create a slowing down of growth. It doesn't listen, we can get very detailed as we move through. It's not a problem. Higher level trainings, all sorts of stuff, I'm all for that. But when you first get someone started, if you're here today right now just getting started, I only want you to focus on a couple things. First of all, those of us that are leaders, those of us that know how to grow a business, this isn't about us. This is about everyone else who's never done this before, who has never been successful before, perhaps, who's been in some of these but could never really get it off the ground and make 5,000 a month, 10,000 a month, 20,000 a month. They could never move through that process very quickly. So we're here to help them. We're here to completely focus on those people. We call it the 98%. That's who they are. Now, you might be a person here right now listening to me, and that's you. That's okay. Let's help you get from where you are to where you need to go. I'd say without exception, I don't even know, maybe dozens, maybe more millionaires that I've helped create over the course of my growing businesses. But I want to make sure that we're pushing you to understand that it starts very simply. It's not a hard thing. It's actually quite simple, quite easy. And the people that we're really speaking to today, and if that's you, it's great, are the people that have never had super success in direct sales who would love to. And if you're a leader here today and you know what you're doing, you know how to do it, let's reach out to the people who need our help. And that's exactly what we're going to do. The very truth of this is that it's more than 98% of you must know. It's actually, they'll say 98% of the people fail in the industry per se, but it's really 98% of the people who are actually active. They're not even counting the inactive people. So it's a larger number than you think. But yet, our industry creates more millionaires than any other industry on planet Earth, bar none. That's a statistical fact. And so, how do we help people reach in those lanes. I want to say this, and this isn't to brag, but to let you know that I know how to take systems and work through them in a very positive way. I'm a two-time Teacher of the Year by Time Warner, and I'm a former college president. And I've been honored many times, and here's why. It's because I can take complex equations and systems and break them down into bite-sized pieces, smaller pieces, so that my students, whether they're high school or college, master's degree, doctorate students, they can reach higher levels of accomplishment because it's broken down into small pieces, step by step. When you look across a great body of water, it seems like there's no way you can get to the other side because a lot of people think they've got to go from this shore to that shore. What I want you to know is we're building stepping stones. We're building small stepping stones across there so you can achieve as you go. A friend of mine once said, and maybe you've heard this, how do you eat a chocolate elephant? One bite at a time, right? We can't look at the whole picture too much because it's overwhelming to people. People stop and people quit and people fail because it's overwhelming to look at. It's too much. Start simple, start very matter of fact, start very basic and take one step. I tell people when they ask me, how to get engaged in the Bible and read the Bible, I said, read one verse, start with one verse and just move slowly through the process. How do you get $1 billion big? Well, it starts with this mindset that the most important person that you're going to speak to today about your business is the next person that you're going to communicate with. Don't try to think about 5 people or 8 people or 10 people or whatever. Back in the old days, we used to make lists. You guys, some of you remember that, right? It's called a memory jogger, and you write down 150 names on it. Nothing wrong with that. But you can't really think that large. Pick out one person that you want to speak to and speak to them. Give them an invitation, invite them to one of our calls, invite them to a business meeting, and give them the information that they desire, and then help them get started in the business. And if they don't show interest, okay, move on to the next person. But the truth is, think about one at a time. Take it very simply, very matter of fact. We're going to have tools to help you introduce this. Now, sometimes you need your team's help. Well, not sometimes, all the time, frankly. And you want to find people who are like you in their mind. What I loved about that presentation earlier with Dr. Ross and her team, I loved that because I felt like they were all of the same mindset. They were mission minded. Now, they don't necessarily need to be the people that make the most money on your team. Some people sometimes say that's the people you deal with. And generally, sometimes it lines up like that because they're successful because of that mindset. But you find people who have the same heart as you, and suddenly your message becomes one, and it's so powerful, and it will attract people because they can feel that energy. I felt that energy from that call. I mean, it was preaching to me. I loved it. Um, I say this because this is not just about having a successful business. This is not just about having great products that are so successful for your health. I'm a testimony in and of myself, let me tell you. But I want to say it's also about the relationship that you have with the people that you're working with. Have you ever been in a job or in something where the people that you were with were not necessarily you didn't gel with? It's not good. The truth is you associate yourself with people who you're comfortable with, who you start to move with, and that's what I want you to focus on. Bring your team together to help you, to do three-way phone calls, to be on presentations with you, to come to trainings with you, and start to develop your Akana family. It's a big deal. Everything I do, I run it by this little equation. It's called system plus spirit equals success. I know this. Any system done perfectly is a perfect system. It could be perfectly bad, and therefore the results will be bad. But the system will kick out. It will literally result. If the system is not a good system, it will result in not good results. If the system is a good system, it will result in good results if done correctly. Your spirit, that centerpiece, that spirit piece, is literally the action part. That's the action that you put into the system. The system's great, but it just sits there. Success is great, but it's just the result. The real meat here is in the middle of this sandwich, and it's the spirit. It's the action that you take in order to take the system that we have at Akana and put it into effect, and then it will equal your success. I can tell you, Akana's products, awesome. Akana's pay plan, awesome. Akana's people, awesome. Akana is a powerhouse. The first time I talked to Melissa Boston, our CEO, I knew there was something special there because of her. I knew there was something special because that was the example to me of who Akana is, and I immediately fell in love with it because I was like, this is where I want to be. This is where I want to plant my flag. This is where we're going to go. $1 billion big is where we're headed. Are you with us or not? Because I'm telling you right now, that's where we're going. So for me, it's the action that you put forward. So what action are we talking about? Well, first things first, I want to say this to you. Never give up. In order for us to do this correctly, you've got to put in your mind right now, this is my business. This is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. So you're probably saying to me, okay, great. How shall we do it? Well, let me take you there because that's an important piece of this. Now, so far, you can tell I'm a tad excited, and that would be an understatement because I sense these things. I sense these things from an energy perspective. I sense that we are headed in a beautiful direction and we're headed there very quickly. So I want to take that next step with you right now and move you through something. And many of you, or some of you that have been with me before, know that this is a, for lack of better terms, this is, well, this is the basics of what I teach, which is keep it simple. Now, if you're our guest here today or this is your first time at training, this is going to seem too easy to you. If you're a power leader, this is going to seem too easy to you. But again, confusion and complexity slows a company down, and that happens 100% of the time. 100%. Bite size, take it easy, make sure that what we accomplish, we can all accomplish. That's why I use this sphere chart. Sphere one is basically this: two people that you know, who you trust, and they trust you. You can use any method. You can talk to them, call them up on the phone, go visit them at their house, whatever. Invite them to an Akana party, invite them to our Thursday night call, invite them to this call on Saturday. You just heard Dr. Ross do. Powerhouse way just to talk to two people. Now, don't make these people you don't know. I said two people that you trust who trust you. I said to someone this, we were talking about this earlier, and they said, oh, I burned those bridges a long time. No, no, no. Those are obviously not people who trust you. We all try and we all get back on our horse, so to speak, and all that jazz. These are people who understand, who would at least come hear a presentation. You got to think through that. Maybe you only know one. Either way, start here. Keep it simple, very clean, and bring them to a presentation where they'll hear about the business. Once they get engaged with you, it's all on. We're on then. They can come to a training. They can see how simple this is. Now, sphere two. These are 7 people, an additional 7 people, an additional 7, not the first 2. Remember, those are your closest. This is somewhere where we're creating even now as we speak tools, and there are tools already in existence with Akana that will help you deliver information to people. Show them Akana, introduce Akana to them. These are people that you know, but you're not quite as close to perhaps as those first 2. Eventually, these 7 will qualify themselves or disqualify themselves. They'll either say, yeah, I'm into this. How do I get started? They just move themselves into sphere one, get them signed up. Or they'll say, hey, look, not now. I'm not interested right now. Okay, fine. I'll send you information every once in a while if that's okay. And you got to add another name to this list. You might know 20 people. You might know 12 people. I don't know, but eventually you just keep feeding this list. And then there's this last piece, and that's sphere 3. These are people you don't know. These are contacts. We're going to work on that. We got a powerhouse little program coming out very soon. I'm super excited about it. That'll help you just send out stuff. This is a visibility piece. This is just people looking at it going, oh, that's interesting. And when they When they request more information, they just move themselves from sphere 3 here, the invite visibility we call it, or IV. It's the IV. It's directly to the bloodstream, so to speak. These people say, I'm interested in information. Now, not everybody will. Some of them will, some of them won't. But some of those leads that you're putting through the program, sending stuff out, and we're going to teach you how to do all of that. A new tool coming out very, very soon is going to give you that in a very easy way. And get this, these people will say, I want more information. Well, they just move themselves into sphere 2. And you keep giving them information, as I told you before, until they start to trust you. And then they're like, I'm ready to get started. They just move themselves into sphere 1. You don't do any of the moving. That's what's powerful about this. Literally, 2 people in sphere 1, 2 people you trust who trust you. That trust is already there. It already exists. You shouldn't be afraid to talk to them. You should go ahead and do it now. And then 7 people you're constantly delivering information. If somebody says, leave me alone, you'll add 1. Try to keep 7 in there at all times. And if you're running out of names, that sphere 3 will help you. And again, we've got a tool coming out very soon that will just start delivering that to you on a regular basis. All it's designed to do is create interest so that people say, I'm interested. And now you start delivering real information to them. And they start getting more and more excited, or they remove themselves. Don't get your feelings hurt. It's strictly a business, and we're strictly running it in front of people so that they will be more aware of what's going on in your business and make a decision for themselves. If you beg people and you act desperate, there's not any success in that. This is a phenomenal, I say it again, a phenomenal business. This is an incredible business. And make no mistake, this business is as strong as it gets. If you're going to be successful in direct sales, you got to find a great company. I love what Dr. Ross said at the end of the call. Got to be a company that's been around longer than 18 months, because a lot of them fail. Have you heard this statistic? Did you know a direct sales company launches every 10 seconds? Are you kidding me? No wonder so many of them fail. People are just throwing stuff. This one was carefully planned, carefully executed with a powerhouse team of people who are super dedicated. And this company's been around now going on 5 years and just now starting to really lift off. This is going to be $1 billion big company. If you were ever saying to yourself, I want to be in a company that's going somewhere, oh, you're here. You are here. So I want to make sure that I share this last piece with you, because in my personal opinion, this is probably one of the more important pieces. So far, you've heard me say this, right? You've heard this piece right here, which is, I want you to understand that we're just talking about looking for a few people, a couple people to start with. That's all we're doing. And now let me move this through the step that I feel like will help you understand at a very high level where we're going in simple slides here, nothing major here. First things first, can I walk you through it? You're looking for the 2 people. Remember, that's it. Simply 2 people. A very simple, straightforward piece. We're going to be quite frankly very simplistic in our mindset and the way we do these things, because I want you to hear out loud, this is not hard. You're finding 2 people and you are teaching them. You're going to walk them through the enrollment process. So you should learn that. Okay. You should learn it. You should take notes when you sign up. If you haven't signed up already, when you sign up, take notes. If you have signed up, walk someone through that process, go through it yourself and learn it. Very, very important. Then you attend a training with them. Now we've got trainings. We've got product trainings. We've got this training here. We've got trainings, or you can just have an individual training of your own. You can create your own and take people through it. You also want to schedule their first Zoom presentation calls with their first few people. Remember, the people who trust them, that they trust. Don't just leave them hanging. When you get a new person involved, you want to walk them through. You want to schedule the calls with them. You want to say, okay, let's call your first 2 people. And you want to do that in the first 24 to 36 hours. You want to attend this Zoom call, which is super, super, super important. You want to be there with them. You want to be at the party with them if it's a live event. You want to be on the call with them. Matter of fact, I would suggest if you're coming to like Thursday's conference call, you literally use that call to do a three-way. You call them up, you say, I'm going to three-way into the call. You ready? And take them there. Take them with their guests. Do whatever you need to do to stay with them. This is an important part of teaching, and training is huge. You can host your own call. You can bring them into one of these calls, but walk them through the enrollment process, as I said. It'll show them how to do the same thing. Talk to them about getting their Zoom call, their people on the Zoom call. Walk them through the products call, and I'll show you all of these calls here shortly. Any specials that are going on, compensation basics, learn it and teach it. Notice that I'm not doing it. Do you notice right now that I'm not going through and I'm not teaching you all the basics of the compensation plan and all the basics of how to get enrolled and all this? This is your business. So learn how. Now, are we producing things that'll show you how to do that? Yes, we have produced them and we're continuing to. An educational platform that even you can walk them through. But here's the important thing. You don't just send someone a video. You go with them and you watch it with them. Number one, you'll learn more. You'll get better and better at this. And number two, this is the togetherness part. Remember your team we talked about earlier? Your like mind, your like heart. This is how you develop that. And this is very, very important. So, that being said, we do that. I believe that this training piece is huge because all you're really doing is taking your first two enrollments and teaching them how to get their first two enrollments. And you're staying with them the whole time. Remember, you're there with them during the enrollment, you're there with them during the training, and then you're teaching them to do the exact same thing with their people. That's called duplication. And you cannot duplicate down a multiple levels. You can only duplicate once, which means this. You do the job, then you teach them how to do the job. That's duplication. You monitor them to make sure that they're getting it done. You have to do this so that you can do this. This is the whole process you're looking at. Your two and guiding them to get their two, and then teaching them and guiding them to go out and get their two. This is as deep as you can track it. Now, you might help people with three-way phone calls deeper than that, down other levels, and so on and so forth. But it's just really about you getting two who trust you, who you trust, and teaching them to go out to that they trust, who trust them. That's it. Guiding them then how to teach their people to do the same thing. That's duplication. You're guiding your team to duplicate your efforts. What were your efforts? You got two. You helped them enroll. You took them through training, period. Listen to it again. Your efforts were you got two, you helped them enroll, you took them to training, period. Then you're going to help them do the exact same thing you just did, which is get there too. And you're going to say, okay, take them here, then take them to training, take them through the enrollment, take them through the training, and then you're going to help them have a communication with their people to do the same thing. It's so straightforward, folks. I can say that with all confidence, and I think you need to hear that out loud because to me, it's really people start thinking, well, I got to go out here and get 12 and I got to get this and I got to get this. I get it, leaders, but your people will never succeed thinking like that. The average person can't go out that far. They can just think about the two that they need to go get. Should they get more than two? Sure, they can repeat the process. Go out and find two more. All of a sudden now they're literally making more money than they spent. And that's powerful. That's the way you start this process. Also, we need to direct. What's that mean? Direct attention to people. So when one of your people duplicate you, in other words, they went out and got two, let's introduce them. Let's introduce them to your upline. Let's introduce them to one of the corporate staff members. Let's call and have a congratulations with them because they duplicated. Let's recognize them for what they did. You can introduce them on a call. You can call them literally to speak on a call briefly and have a testimonial. You can bring them to an event and introduce them. You can even give them some training duties or whatever you want to do, but make sure that you're recognizing them for the incredible impact they're having. We're actually preparing right now as we speak an actual broadcast program where we're going to start talking and edifying and recognizing the people that are duplicating out here. It's one thing to be a superstar leader. It's another thing to really get excited about the people who are duplicating your efforts. And what are your efforts? Getting 2 people. Now, some of you may have gotten 20 already. Okay, I get you. But we're really talking about duplicating efforts. 2 who get 2 who get 2. If we do this as a company, the company will be $1 billion big in 15 months. You heard me. 2005, we're $1 billion big. It starts with you, though. And it starts breaking this down and saying, no, I'm keeping it simple. I wonder how many seminars on duplication and seminars on social media and seminars on internet marketing and seminars on SEO marketing and seminars on aggressive marketing and seminars on sustainability marketing and seminars. I could go on. I've seen it's got to be now, it's got to be hundreds and hundreds of those. I've probably seen, I don't know, 700, 800 of those seminars and attended events all over the place. It always comes down to the same thing, though. That's great for generating more visibility and bringing more leads into the circle. But at the end of the day, you have to give information to those people until they're interested enough to make a decision and trust you enough. Sphere 1. It starts with getting 2 people who trust you, who you trust, involved, and teaching them to do the same thing. 2 people. When that starts duplicating, then you'll see great and powerful results. One of my mentors I learned this from took his little company, he's in heaven now, took his little downline with this concept and went from 0 to $1 million a month in less than a year. $1 million a month in commissions. That was a simple approach. He got 2, taught them to duplicate, taught them to train and guide others to duplicate. And then he went up and got 2 more, and he kept doing that. Powerful. And then he started recognizing those people. And when he got up on stage, instead of giving a big speech, he would bring people up to talk about their experiences. And it was inspirational as all get. So this is powerful. Teach. All you have to do is a very simple teaching process of getting 2 people. Guide them to do what you just did, which is get 2 people, right? Take them to training like this one. Direct them, which means direct attention to them. Recognize them when they duplicate. Don't recognize them until they do, but recognize them when they duplicate. And then be a great leader. What is it to be a great leader? Well, it's simple. Ask yourself these 3 questions if you're a leader. Are my frontline members growing their teams? If you've already got people in the business, are your frontline, the people you brought in, are they growing their teams? If they are, then there's a possibility here that you're a leader. Is your growth balanced on your teams? Or is it one person doing all the work? Or do you have 2, 3, if you've got 4 people, are all 4 of them growing? Are they balanced? Are you actively developing a team of teachers, mentors, directors, leaders? Are they duplicating your efforts? Are they signing people up, walking them through the enrollment process, taking them to training, and teaching them to do the same thing? Directing attention to those people. How many calls have you received as a leader from other people introducing you to the person who just duplicated their efforts, excited about it? This is key. This is key. This is key. We got to do it. I'm so excited for you. One of the things that I think is important is to look at our goals. Here is a Sphere 1 activity for you. Invite at least 1 person to next week's Zoom presentation. That's the Saturday presentation you just heard from Dr. Ross at, let's see, it's 10 Central. Okay, that's 11 Eastern, 10 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Mountain, 8 o'clock Pacific time next Saturday. or come to the Thursday call. And I'll show you all our call times and lists here in a moment. So it's a new contact coming to see the account of business for the first time. That's what that's got to be. Or it can be an old contact who's kind of faded away, but you want to get them re-engaged. Let's go. Here are our Zoom call goals. We want more people engaged. We want more people engaged. This is crucial to us. So right now we should be seeing about 40 people. This is week one. This is the end of week one. We should see about 40 people on this call. 20 of us should be guests. Let's do a report card. How are we doing? Next week, we should see 70 people on this training and on these calls. The week after that, 110 people. And the week after that, 160 people. I can tell you we're blowing it up on Thursday's call. But I'd like to see this Saturday call plus the training fill up a little bit more. And I know Saturday's tough. But can I give you this here? Here are our meetings. We have one link for our Zoom calls now. It's a lovely thing. And you can see the password there, and you can see the meeting ID there. That's the link. And the person who invited you here can give that to you as well. We'll send out emails. We're going to post that on the website. We're going to do everything so everybody can see these Zoom meetings. Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And a lot of our calls are the same times during the week. That's 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. That's a Zoom on the very same link. Product overview with Dr. Betty, and she's incredible. Okay. It's a great place to learn about the product. Saturday, you heard it earlier, an incredible presentation. Dr. Ross and her team, just an amazing presentation. Business overview, followed by this training at noon Eastern, 11, a.m. Central, and so on. This is the training to be on right after that. Sometimes you'll hear some really great music between that presentation and this training. And Sunday, the 5 p.m., we call it the kind of flat belly lifestyle call. It's another presentation kind of with a flair towards the flat belly. We have so many other opportunities. These are the few that we listed here. Don't forget the Thursday call. Right there's the phone number at the bottom, 312-967-1557. That's literally just on the phone. You can call from anywhere. It's not a Zoom call. Bring your people. And it is an incredible presentation call. Try to keep it right in there at about 30 minutes on Thursday on that phone call. I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm so excited to do these trainings. We're building a platform even now to educate on some of the things I've spoken about here. There are tools coming out for the visibility campaign, but all of you here can bring two. All of you here can bring two. I say it last. All of you here can bring two. If you're brand new to us and you're training for the first time, focus on two people that you trust who trust you. And then focus on another 7 people that you do know, but you just want to start pushing some information towards them. Send them a link to a video. Do invite them to a call. Send them some information that you got excited about. Show them some products. Talk to them a little bit, but know this. It starts with a very simple invitation to 2 people that you know who know you. Now, both of them may say no. Find 2 more people. One of them may say yes. One of them may say no. Keep working until you get 2. And that's your mindset. 2. Teach them then to do the exact same thing. 1 step at a time. Don't overwhelm them. Don't give them so much information that their mind is blown. Don't tilt it so far that it seems impossible, because it's not. It's not impossible. I want to take this moment to thank you. I'm going to hop off of sharing here for a second. I want this moment to thank you for being here, to being part of our training today. This training always lasts about roughly a half hour or so on Saturday, and you took time out of your Saturday schedule to be here. And I want to thank you so much for being here, for being part of this. And I want to tell all of you here, fantastic weekend for you. Looking forward to getting together next week. Don't forget, Flat Belly is tomorrow. I'm excited about that tomorrow afternoon, and our Thursday call, Dr. Betty's call on Tuesday, and our Thursday presentation call. Don't forget all of those. It's going to be a marvelous time. We're going to send out some reminders about all that stuff as we go and as we press forward. Again, thank all of you and have a beautiful rest of your weekend. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I see Melissa Boston. Thank you, Melissa. We appreciate you. Appreciate you guys and have a beautiful day. Enjoy the weekend. See you later.